main types of graphs were, we could have a graph with a point of inflection. So I'll just call that a POI. And that only cuts the x-axis once. But we had other graphs as well. We had a graph that looked like this. Okay, so when it cut like that and it had 3 points of intersection, then the graph would look something, we would have 3 factors. So something like this. This is just a made up formula, so it mightn't necessarily match the diagram, but something like that. So if we were able to factorize it and get 3 factors, then the graph would cut in 3 places. The other sort of graph that we had was, we had a graph where it cut once and then it came down and it just touched and it went up again, like that. So that was the second sort of graph, and that one had 1 factor that might look like that, and the other factor where it touched here, so this one would correspond to this factor. This one here would correspond to a factor that was repeated. So something like that, a square. Okay, so if we had repeated factors in the form of a square, then it would just touch the x-axis. And the final one that we had was, we had something that looked like this. So it came through once, but then when it looped down, it didn't touch the x-axis again. So we had a case like that, and the equation for that was something like this, where we had 1 factor, but the other one, x squared plus bx plus c, I'll just put in a normal quadratic, we weren't able to factorize that quadratic. So all that we had there was 1 factor. This one has 3 factors, but 2 of them are repeated in the form of a square, and then this one had 3 factors. So this is very important. You can have 1 intercept there, you can have 2 intercepts up here, or we can have 3 intercepts there. So very important to know the difference between those graphs. And of course we had this one here, which was a point of inflection form, and it was an equation that looked like this. We would have x minus h cubed plus k. And this point here, the point of inflection, where it flattened out for a split second, the coordinates of that point was hk.